I'm Jamie. I am sharing this practice with you because for me it was sort of an unfolding of a practice that I wasn't quite sure that I wanted to start, which is sometimes the case for our days. I would love to say that as a yoga instructor, every day I wake up feeling wonderful and very mobile and limber and everything is fluid and great, but the reality is that we all have responsibilities and things that weigh on us, and also physical responsibilities, things that will cause us to work a little bit harder some days than others, and certain joints may be more stiff or sore than others. And so what I wanted to do was just invite you into my reality in hopes that it would help you in your practice and in your daily living. So sometimes we may not have time for a full hour, but we've got this little chunk of time that's not quite an hour. This would be the class for that little chunk of time. I've got two ties tied together, or if you have a strap, a towel won't work for today's practice. If you're wanting to use a strap, you actually need something longer than that. And then a block, not necessary but certainly optional, a bolster and a blanket for when we are coming into our Shavasana time. I have my mat about a foot away from the wall. During this pandemic, a lot of us are practicing a lot at home, and sometimes we may feel very confined, but what I have found is that the wall really provides a lot of freedom to explore things, and that can sort of be a safety net and allow us to progress without being fearful. So before you begin your practice, of course, obtain medical clearance. If you have any spinal injuries, this probably isn't the practice for you. I have lots of other videos out on the YouTube channel that would be appropriate. The ones that are entitled gentle or easy may be more appropriate. So come to stand with me in mountain pose with the feet about hip distance apart and headed in the same direction. The sling underneath the pelvis lifted, navel to the spine, and the sternum lifted. And the palms are forward, so we want this broadness out across the collarbone area. And then the shoulder heads, rather than being squeezed back, they're just open and broad. The chest is broad to allow oxygen into the lungs. So as you stand in mountain pose and breathe, sometimes this is the most challenging part of a day, right? We've got so much to do and we want to get everything done and we want to hurry, and we're running behind. And standing in a yoga practice and breathing is stressful because we want to get with it because we only have a window. So breathe and remember that the exhale and the inhale are equally important. The things that we take in during the day are very important, and sometimes we have to sort of filter those out and get rid of all the waste. That's what happens with our pulmonary system. Every time we inhale, imagine these wonderful molecules and all of these things that help feed our internal organs, our muscles, our brain coming into the body, but then get rid of the waste. So the blood is going to pick up the waste, and when we exhale, we're going to get rid of that waste. So we'll do a Samavriti breath. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to slow it down a little bit, but have the same count. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do one more. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's begin. Come to stand at the top of your mat. We're going to open up the heart and broaden the collarbone like we just did on an inhale, and then exhale and kind of shut down or come into Samasthata even. Don't even have to shut down, but just equal standing. Inhale, do that same thing. Sometimes we don't really want to get up, right? Oh, and we decide not to. But we're going to get up this time. Inhale, broaden the collarbones, circle sweep the arms up if that's comfortable. And then exhale, we're going to fold and just let the head dangle. Now you can use your block here if you need that for your hands, and shake your head no, and then shake your head yes. Bend your knees a little more firmly. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Now we're going to inhale, step the right foot off the mat and bring the right hand overhead. Reach the left hand down the other side of the leg. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale, step your left foot off the mat. Reach that right hand down the mat. Exhale, come to stand, Samastitihi. Another option here is if you take your strap and just grab it about shoulder distance apart, bring the arms overhead. Inhale, step the right foot off, reach over to the left. Exhale, come center. Inhale, reach over to the right. Exhale, come center. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold. And feel free to use your block. Bring the ribs toward the thighs. Inhale, half lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold so the ribs come toward the thighs. Bend your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Look up at the thumbs. Urdhva Hastasana, upward hands. Exhale, Samastitihi. So another variation. Inhale, step the right foot off, reach the right arm up and over. Maybe bring the hand behind the head. Walk your left hand down your leg. On your exhale, just simply heel toe your right foot toward the mat, keeping your left hand where it is on your leg. So lift up on the right side, crunch on the left side. So this lateral flexion. And then come all the way up to stand. So we'll do the other side. Inhale your left foot off, reach over and reach down, hand behind the head, lift the ribs. On your exhale, heel toe that foot onto the mat or towards the mat. Really broaden the left side of the body. Use the engagement of the QL on the right side of the body. Inhaling. And then exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana, ribs toward the thighs. Look towards your knees, but lift the sit bones up. Inhale, half lift, space between the sternum and navel. Exhale and step your left foot back. Feel free to use your block on the inside of that forward foot. Inhale, tiptoe. Look back at your toes. So sometimes we'll lean to one side or the other of our foot and try to get our toes as parallel as possible. Exhale, press it back. Now, we may have arthritis or other issues in our feet, so just be aware of your own body and what you're able to do. But as much as possible, try to keep those toes parallel with one another instead of crunching toward one side or the other. All right, step the left foot forward. Inhale, half lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold once more. And then bend the knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, Samastitihi. All right, so we're going to step over to the right. Inhale, right arm up and over. And reach toward the left, and the left hand reaches down. Hand behind the head. Exhale, heel toe that right foot in, keeping your left hand where it is. Really press the right foot down. Open up. Inhale there. Exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale the left foot off. Reach up and over. Right hand reaches down. Bring your hand behind your head. On the exhale, heel toe that left foot closer in, keeping your right hand where it is. Inhale there. Exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift, lengthen the spine. On the exhale, the right foot goes back. Look back at your toes to make sure they're in alignment. So we're going to inhale and tiptoe. Feel free to use your block. Exhale, press back for that calf stretch, keeping the back leg nice and long. Inhale, tiptoe. Exhale, press back. Your next breath, inhale, step the right foot forward. So we have this half lift, Broaden the collarbone. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step your left foot back. Inhale, tiptoe. Exhale, back. Inhale, tiptoe. On the exhale, right hand comes back around, and you can either come to kneeling plank or full plank. Round your back up. Inhale there. Exhale, just sink at the shoulders. Inhale, round up. Exhale, sink at the shoulders. Keep the arms long. Inhale, round. Exhale, sink. One more. Inhale, round. On your exhale, either child's pose or downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Look forward. Inhale, step the right foot forward, then the left. There's our half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Ribs toward the thighs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, your right foot goes back this time. You can bring your hands to the inside or use your block. Inhale, tiptoe. Make sure those toes are in line. It's really easy to get that foot all discombobulated. Inhale, tiptoe. Exhale, back. Inhale, tiptoe. Exhale, back. One more. Inhale, tiptoe. Bring that left hand to the outside of the left leg. On your exhale, either come to full plank or kneeling plank. Inhale, round up. Exhale, sink. Inhale, round. Exhale, sink. One more. Inhale, round. Exhale, sink. Inhale, round in either child's pose or downward facing dog. Look forward. Step the left foot forward, then the right. Here's our half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, left foot goes back. Inhale, tiptoe. You can bring your hand inside or leave it outside this time. Exhale it back. Inhale, tiptoe. Get long in your spine. That back leg is long. Exhale, press back. Inhale, tiptoe. On your exhale, the right foot goes back. You can either do those shoulder shrugs or shift your feet for your toes forward and then come into your chaturanga. Lower down to your belly. Shoulder heads back. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose or downward facing dog. Look forward. Step your right foot forward, then your left. It's our half lift. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Bend your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold. Ribs toward the thighs, lifting those sit bones up, bringing your abdomen toward your thighs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, this time your right foot steps back. Your hand can come to the inside or the outside. Inhale, tiptoe. Exhale, back. Inhale, tiptoe. Exhale, back. Inhale, tiptoe. On this exhale, you can either start your shoulder shrugs or shift your weight forward. Bend the elbows, cobra or Urdhva Mukha, upward facing dog, broadening the collarbone. Exhale, child's pose or downward facing dog. Look forward, step your left foot forward, then the right, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Bring your fingertips together and make lattice with your fingers. Exhale, sit back for chair pose. Low belly tucks under, and you can look through your fingers to make sure your knees are behind your toes. Inhale, come up. You can keep your feet apart or step your feet closer together. On an exhale, we'll bring our thumbs toward our collarbone, and we're going to sit back, draw your left hip back as you twist toward the right. Inhale, come up. Exhale, look through those fingers, sit back, draw the right hip back, especially twist toward the left. Inhale, come up. Exhale, sit low, release the hands. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step your left foot back. Come into a warrior one stance. So the outside of that back foot is down. Inhale, arms up. Maybe bring them behind your head and press your elbows back. Exhale there. So shrug the shoulder heads up toward the ears and then relax them down. Drop your tailbone down. Lift your heart toward the ceiling. On an inhale, right arm comes forward, left arm back. Let's come to warrior two. Exhale, reverse it, bending that forward leg as we reverse. Inhale, we're going to windmill down, so our right foot is forward, the left leg is back, and we're going to shift forward and back. Shift forward and back. Shift forward and back. Take your right foot back. You can either be in kneeling plank, full plank, shoulder shrugs, or the little vinyasa, whichever you want to do. And we're all going to come to all fours at first. So we're going to take our right leg, it's parallel with the left, lift that right foot, externally rotate at the hip. Draw the knee toward the armpit, down and around. Externally rotate. Draw the knee toward the armpit, down and around. We're going to do one more. Down and around. Look forward, step your right foot forward, then your left. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees more deeply. Inhale, come all the way up. And then lattice with your fingers. Exhale, sit low. Inhale, come up. You can bring your feet together if you like. As you exhale, draw your right hip back and twist toward the left. Inhale, come up. Thumbs can touch just below the collarbone. Exhale, draw your left hip back, twist toward your right. Inhale, come up. Exhale, sit low. Knees behind toes. Release your hands. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step your right foot back, so we're in that warrior one stance. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, maybe bring your hands behind your head, press the elbows back. If the shoulder heads are shrugged up, just relax them. Drop the tailbone, navel toward the spine. On your inhale, we're going to open up to warrior two. Exhale, reverse warrior. Keep your forward knee bent. On the inhale, we're going to windmill down, pivot around, so we're in that lunge-ish position. All right. So we tiptoe and then press back. Watching the toes, make sure they're in alignment, and press back. One more. And then come into your kneeling plank or your full plank, shoulder shrugs, or your vinyasa, whichever you want to do. And then you can come into all fours or downward facing dog, and we'll do that same thing. So we want to make sure this right foot stays forward, the equal pressure as much as possible in both hands. So we'll externally rotate and try to avoid bending that right elbow. So left knee to armpit, wrist, and back around. Open up, armpit, wrist, back around. One more, back around, and we look forward. So we're hugging that heel into the seat. Then step forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, sit low. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step your left foot back. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, spin around, bring your right foot back, and you pick your vinyasa or those shoulder shrugs. And then downward facing dog or all fours. Draw your heel to your seat as you lift up, externally rotate, bring it down and around. Down and around. One more. Good. Look forward. Step your right foot forward, but this time we're going to lower the left knee. So my toes are tucked because I have the option here to use the tucked toes to draw my left leg back. So this is a great place for a block. If you want to use the toes for balance, you can, or untuck. You can put your block on whatever setting you want, right? Low, medium, high, however you want. And we want to take our belly away from our thigh, but without pushing that foot down to bring our body way back and the leg extended. We want the knee bent, but the body back. Okay, so it's an extension in the spine. So the right hand, you can either put it on your hip or reach towards your block. And then inhale your left arm over. Exhale, bring your hand behind your head and sink into your hip. Couple more breaths. All right, and you have the option here to take your strap. And so there is a temptation to push back with that forward foot, and then a lot of times we get that flailing, so try to keep sinking in that front foot, hip area as you hook your back foot. And you can take your strap around, keep sinking, abdomen engaged, and then you can use your strap to bring the heel closer to your seat, or you can open up like we were greeting the day earlier. Take the inside of that foot, or if you want to put both hands back, so there may be a temptation to shut down, press the shoulder heads back as you draw your heel toward your seat. Slowly release. We're going to bring our hands down, look forward, step your left foot forward. There's the half lift. Exhale, fold, bend your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, fingers down. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale your right foot back this time. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, pivot around, and then you decide whether you do your shoulder shrugs or your vinyasa. And then either all fours or downward facing dog. So we'll have that hip mobility exercise, making sure the right side of your body is stable as you are opening up the hip. All right, look toward the hands. The left foot's going to step forward, and then we're going to lower the back knee. So we're using those tucked toes to draw that right leg back. Hands to the thigh. You can use your block if you'd like, or just reach toward the floor. So try to avoid collapsing in the belly, navel toward the spine. Mula and Uddiyana Bandha. Sternum lifts, right? Okay. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, hand behind the head. Keep breathing. So keep sinking at the hip, but have that extension in your spine. So there may be this temptation to push with that forward foot, and it causes a lot of imbalance. So consider drawing your heel toward your seat in that forward foot, pressing the top of this back leg down. All right, so we're going to greet the day, right? We have this openness. You can use your strap, or you can hug your heel toward your seat. Do one-handed, or take your left hand around so you're grabbing both sides of the feet. Draw your left heel toward your seat as you broaden your collarbones. And release. Hands down, look forward. Step your right foot forward. Here's your half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, sit low. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step your left foot back. Inhale, come up for warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, hand behind the head here. Lift the elbow up toward the ceiling. Inhale, warrior two. Now you have the option here. We're going to heel toe that back foot in a little bit. You can use your block to set in front of you, or you can use the floor. If you feel that you're having to reach too far, we're moving toward Ardha Chandrasana. So if you feel like you're having to reach too far, heel toe your foot in a little bit, okay? And we're just going to lift that back foot up. The nice thing about having a wall is you can use it to stabilize with the other hand while you get yourself set up. So this right foot, it may tend to turn in when we lift that foot because our feet try so hard to help us with our balance. But engage the belly, navel to the spine, placing that hand where it helps us with our balance. And you can bring your gaze in front of you or down at your foot, wherever. Dorsiflex, or bring the toes of that left foot towards your shin. And then we're just going to come back down right to where we were, into our warrior two. Windmill down and pivot. So we've been here before. Your shoulder shrugs, warrior vinyasa. Downward facing dog. So you have an option here. I'll get it out. You have an option to come onto all fours and do the hip circles, or down dog and do the hip circles, either one. Or what you can do is step your right foot in a little bit. So I'm stepping my right foot toward my right hand just a little bit, but I want to be able to press my right heel down, okay? And imagine these heels, the actions are connected. So when I push that right heel down, my left heel is going to hug toward my seat. Lift your right hand, just play around with it. Notice if you grip with your toes, and if you do, press your right heel down. So you can grab your left ankle, and as you press your right heel down, you press your left heel towards your seat. And then hug that left knee in, step your left foot forward, and then your right, half lift, exhale, fold, bend your knees, inhale, come all the way up, exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale, come into your chair, exhale, fold, inhale, half lift, exhale, right foot back for warrior one, inhale, come up, exhale, warrior two, inhale, reverse. On an exhale, hand behind the head, lift the elbow up toward the ceiling. On the inhale, come back into warrior two. Now we have the option here to breathe in our warrior two, or to cycle through that in the reverse, or heel toe your back foot in. You can take your block or your hand, shift it forward. If you feel you're having to reach too far, we'll heel toe your foot in, step it in, whatever. So we're going to lift up. You can use your wall again if your forward foot moved. That's a great thing about using the wall. Broaden the collarbone, flex that back foot, lift the hand. And so you could bring your gaze forward or up. All right, we're going to reverse that. Lower the foot down, come into warrior two, windmill down, and then go through your vinyasa or the shoulder shrugs, all fours or downward facing dog. And then now we have the option to do the other side or the hip circle. So the left foot would come in, you're going to plant your heel. So you want to step in so you can plant your heel and that knee is slightly bent, and the right foot is up. You can take your right heel to your seat as actively as you're pressing that left heel down. Then reach behind with the left hand. As you hug that left heel into your seat, you press your, as you hug your right heel into your seat, you press your left heel down to the mat. Slowly release, look forward, step your right foot forward, then the left. It's a half lift. Exhale, fold, bend your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, left foot back. Inhale, come into your warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale there. Inhale, warrior two. And then heel toe in as you exhale and reach down. Inhale, come into your Ardha Chandrasana. Now you have the option to use your strap here. You can put it around your foot. Draw your heel toward your seat. So this is Ardha Chandra Chapasana. And a chapa is a bow. Okay, you could even put it behind your back. Chapa is a bow. Ardha Chandra Chapasana. And then we will reverse, just like we did before. Come into our warrior two. Windmill down. And you choose your shoulder shrugs, which are really good for getting mobility in the shoulder, getting some strengthening of the shoulder joint. And then all fours or downward facing dog. And you're going to have an option here to try some donkey kicks, okay? So don't worry about what they look like. Just think, I want to kick my heels into my seat. Okay, so heels into my seat. Donkey kicks. Heels to seat. We'll try one more. If you overshoot, the wall is what is help. So if you have a wall, it's good. All right. Look forward. Step your right foot forward, then your left. So that's what I mean by having the wall and allowing it to provide us with the option and freedom to try new things. Bring your hands in front, bend your knees, reach your sit bones back, reach your arms forward. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Sit low. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, this time the right foot goes back. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale there. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, so we'll step that left, or put the left hand down and come up. And so if you want to try with the hand, so you have a couple options. So if the psoas and the quads are kind of tight, you can hug your knee in and then take it behind. Or you also would have the option, once your foot is up, to have that openness like we had when we were greeting the day, and to get the foot. Ardha Chandra Chapasana. And then we'll reverse it, or sugar cane. Some people call it sugar cane. I know my teacher Mary calls it sugar cane. All right, we're going to step that foot back, come into our warrior two, and then windmill down. You choose. Maybe you've had enough vinyasa and you want to go back to the shoulder shrugs, which are fabulous. And then down dog, you can do all fours, hip rotation, or maybe try the donkey kick. So if you have the wall, there is the freedom to, if you overshoot, you know that you have something there to catch you. We'll look forward, step the left foot forward, then the right. Exhale, fold. We're going to reach the arms forward, sit bones back, low belly, tucks under. We're going to heel toe the feet out a little bit wider than the mat. Sit low. Varmalasana. And breathe. You could use your block here to help you come to Navasana or boat pose, or toward it. So you would sit down on your block and bring your feet out in front so that you could come down into boat pose, or you could come straight into your boat pose from Malasana. All right, so we're going to lift our heart forward just like we've been before, broadening the collarbone. So there is a lot of connectivity with our body movement patterns and how we are emotionally. And if we're shut down, we're not really ready for the day, physically or mentally. But somehow if we open up, things seem a little bit brighter. Maybe it's a little bit easier to face the day. Hug your knees into the chest. We'll do a little bit of a balancing act. And then lower your feet down. We're going to lengthen our legs out in front of us for Paschimottanasana. Intense westward or back stretch. So you have several options here. You have your strap, which can really help, especially if the feet seem really far away. Maybe you have really long legs or really short arms or whatever. Press the inner edges of the feet away from you. Low belly tucks under. And we're going to reach the belly toward the thighs. And sometimes that seems insurmountable also. So one tip is to put a block in between your legs, and you reach forward and think, okay, belly to block. Whatever height that you need it to be. I reach my belly toward my block. A few more breaths there. And then slowly come up. All right, we're going to bring the block behind us, and we're going to use it kind of like a pillow. So we're going to roll over onto our right side, and our right side of our face is lying on the block. So letting the body just sort of calm down a little bit. And then notice whether I have this tendency to curl my wrists in. So make everything kind of neutral and relaxed. And then we're going to do a reclined spinal twist, but it's going to be the upper body that moves rather than moving the knees from side to side. Keep your knees to the right. You can take them out farther or hug them in a little more if you want a little bit deeper twist. And we're going to come up onto our forearms. Turn the block and put the forearms on either side of the block. So you could recline even more and rest your head the right side on the block, or if it's accessible to get a little bit of a twist in that cervical spine, you could go to the left. And if the block, depending on the height of your block and the comfort, this one's really thick. So for me, if I had my other blocks, I would use my block. But if it's too high, you can just put your face on the mat. And then we're coming onto our belly, so you'll extend your legs and come onto your belly. And we're going to come onto our forearms for a Sphinx pose. Push out of the shoulder area. Look over your left shoulder. And then look over your right shoulder. And we'll take our block again, and we're going to have that side lying Shavasana on the left side. And so we'll hug the knees in. And let the wrists be neutral. Feel the body kind of regulate and settle down. And then we'll move into the twist on that side. So come up onto your forearms. You can turn your block so that forearms are on either side. You could either rest your head on the block, still staying the same direction as your knees, or use your block if you like. Let the right side of your face rest on the mat. And you can adjust. If you feel like that you're all scrunched up, you can lengthen further down the mat, bring your rib cage up the mat. And then from here, we will move toward our Shavasana. So you'll just come into your Shavasana. If you have your blanket and your bolster and you'd like, maybe since we did a lot for the spine, lateral flexion, rotation, forward flexion, extension, sometimes having the knees bent and the legs slightly elevated is comfortable. And you can cover up with your blanket or put it under your head, whatever feels good for you. But you want your Shavasana to be very restful, even if it's just like 2 minutes. Relax your shoulders, let that broadness in the collarbone happen so that we have this openness. Maybe we have a lot to do, maybe we don't know what's going to happen today, none of us really do, but we're ready to face it. So I'm going to lead us in a little bit of a closing thought while you rest in your Shavasana. So Helen Keller said, "Keep your face to the sun and you will never see the shadows." Even on a cloudy day, the sun is shining somewhere. Anonymous. Wherever you go, no matter the weather, always bring your own sunshine. Anonymous. He who rules in the fear of God is as the light of the morning when the sun rises, a morning without clouds, when the tender grass springs out of the earth through sunshine after rain. And that is from 2 Samuel. I hope that my intention has been fulfilled. I wanted to share a practice with you that really unfolded for me as, I really don't feel like doing for this, but by the end, I was warmed up and I was ready to face it. A lot of days can be like that, particularly when we have a lot of responsibility or there are just things going on that are out of our control. You can lie in Shavasana as long as you like, or come to Sukhasana with me. Sukha is easy. Sthira and Sukha, steadiness and ease. Physical and spiritual meet. Namaste.